Just to mention to all the inductees, in the sleeves that hold your plaques, there is a copy of the article that was written about your induction to this Hall of Fame, so you'll want to hold on to that. Our next inductee could not be with us this evening, but Terry Brown was one of the most prolific scorers in Section 5 history at Clyde Savannah. At the time of his graduation, his 2,360 points made him the second all-time highest scorer in New York State history. He went on to a 2-year college career playing for Roy Williams at Kansas, and even scored 16 points in the team's Final Four loss to Duke. Terry currently calls Minneapolis home, as he say, unable to be here with us tonight, but we will make sure that he is given his awards for this evening. Let's have a round of applause for Terry Brown. Our next player to be inducted, could we please bring up Kate Cronin? She played for 5 years on the varsity team at Dundee. She led the Lady Scots to the school's first Section 5 title in 1993. 4-time All-Finger Lake First Team All-Star, 3-time All-Greater Rochester, scored 1,765 points in her career. Won a couple of gold medals in the Empire State Games, MVP of the McDonald's Exceptional Senior Game. Started her college career at Marquette before moving to Vermont, where she holds 16 school records. Played professionally in Portugal, averaged 33 points a game before moving to the front office of the Washington Wizards of the NBA and the Mystics of the WNBA. She currently resides in East Providence, Rhode Island, and is an assistant women's coach at Brown University. Back with us tonight, Kate Cronin.
Well, this is a great honor to be inducted tonight. I want to thank all the people from Dundee that came down. I know that Dundee is a small spot on the map to many people here in Rochester, but it's a small community of 2,000 people, and I have great memories of Dundee and all the people that have helped me through the times there. I want to firstly congratulate Glenn Harkins and the Section 5 committee for all their hard work. Also, Nancy Viola, I was excited to see you here. I remember seeing you at many of the events, and it was always something we aspired to receive rewards from Nancy, and you've been synonymous with the girls' side of Section 5, and you haven't aged a bit. You look great, Nancy. I just want to tell you that. Also, Al Serby and Al Messino, I used to go to your camps as a youngster, probably 15 years ago, and I'm glad to see you're still a couple. I'm going to start by thanking my family. My parents have always been great in affording me opportunities to compete all around the state. They used to drive me 3 hours to Niagara Falls every weekend to practice AAU, and back then AAU was you could only find it in Buffalo or Rochester. So every weekend they would drive me up there, and I really appreciate their hard work. And when I became a player and I was in college, my parents would show up in Michigan and Italy and Portugal, wherever I was playing, they were there. So that was something that I'm very grateful for, and my sister and brother as well. And I'll start in chronological order with my coaches. My coaches that have done so much for me. My 7th grade coach is Jerry Howell. He's the honey man in Dundee now. I know you all drink the JW Honey Brown beer, and he's the man that supplies the honey. And so when you're drinking the beer here, you think of Jerry. But Jerry used to always call me on Christmas morning or early in the morning to wake me up and open the gym for me when the gym was closed, and really installed a passion for the game and encouraged me to get out and play with the boys. And I think that was playing with the boys really helped me develop as a player, and that's something he really pushed onto me, whether it be in the backyard or at the school. And my first varsity coach is Bob Andrews, who led us to the Section 5 title, which is a great memory of mine. And Bob was my neighbor, so he was very in the know with my practice habits. So I was always out there shooting in the backyard so that Coach Andrews would see me. And he was extremely dedicated to the team. George Torlan, who's now the athletic director at Dundee, he was also my varsity coach and did a lot of great things for me. He really encouraged me to refine my leadership skills. We had a pretty young squad when he was my coach, and he challenged me to lead, listen, and let the game come to me. Al Best, the guy with the braids over here. There's Al. He was my AAU and Empire State game coach, and really helped me with exposure to get recruited into colleges, and was calling all his buddies he knew, and I'm very grateful for that, and gave me a lot of options as far as the college recruiting process. Al's brother Doug also, when Al had nothing good to say after a game when we stuck up the gym, Doug would always smile and have good things to say, and he was always a loyal supporter of of Al's teams. Wendy Summerson is one of my teammates that was able to come here, and as the Fitches had mentioned, and a lot of other inductees, is that you can't do it alone. The teammates are very, very important, and Wendy was the hardest worker on the team, and I really looked up to her as a player. I had a lot of people come from Vermont and from South Seneca and different areas to come see me play, and I really appreciate people, the Ballards and Ed Risley, different people coming down to see me play. I recently stepped into a coaching job, and somebody had told me a quote, and that quote was, "The players don't care how much you know until they know how much you care." And that's something I've really focused on applying in my coaching career, and I was fortunate to have coaches and family and friends that really cared a lot, and that's something I hope to follow in my next step of basketball. And I'm sorry that Courtney Romiser and Beth Breckard couldn't be here, because they were fine competitors when I was playing in the Finger Lakes West League, and I congratulate their families for their induction. Thank you.
Yeah, I was worried about that. I was going to be taken.
Our next inductee, could we please have Gordon Enderle? Cuba's Central class of 1979 led the Greyhounds to the Section 5 Class C title, where he was named MVP. One of the great games in tournament history, when he scored 36 points to lead Cuba to the title. Went on to lead them to the state title, and he was named Small School Player of the Year. He made the All-Greater Rochester and Times Union Super 15 teams, played collegiately in the Ivy League at Princeton for 4 years and was an academic All-American, played professionally in Sweden, and now lives in the Midwest with his wife Nancy and their son and daughter, and is back with us tonight, the newest member of the Hall of Fame, Gordon Enderle.
It's a great honor to be here tonight. Thank you to Wendy's of Rochester for sponsoring this event, and thank you to the selection committee for asking me to be here. I'm humbled to be included with past and current inductees, a group whose basketball accomplishments are so great. And at the same time, I'm proud to be able to be here tonight and represent Cuba, New York. I came across a quote that reflects my feelings on this occasion. It says that a dwarf standing on the shoulders of a giant may see farther than the giant himself. While I'm no dwarf, I do stand here tonight on the shoulders of others, enjoying a view that they enabled. My family, my coaches, my teammates, and my community have all contributed greatly to whatever success I have had in basketball. And I would like to thank those people now. First and foremost, I grew up in a family that provided me with unconditional love and support. I always knew my home was a safe haven, and that no matter what problem I faced, my family would stay by my side. Not only did that help my ability to compete on the basketball court, it now provides me guidance for my wife and me as we enter our life's most important work, shepherding our own children. My father was a JV basketball coach, which in a small town like Cuba means that he was on the bench for most of the varsity games and helped out with the varsity teams in many ways. It was reassuring to have my father on the bench and in the locker room, especially since I could count on his support no matter what outcome the game delivered. Gary White was my varsity basketball coach, and I'm honored that he's here tonight. Today, Coach White has over 300 wins in Section 5 and has won 4 Section 5 titles. 25 years ago, though, in 1977, he was a first-year basketball coach who decided to take 2 sophomores on his varsity team, me and Kelly Hitchcock, who I'm also pleased to say joined us here tonight. But it wasn't on the basketball court where Coach White had the greatest impact on me. One story which illustrates the influence of my parents and Coach White does not involve basketball at all. As a freshman in high school, I decided to run cross country instead of play football. At one point in the season, I didn't feel that the other teammates wanted me on the team, so I wanted to quit. My parents wouldn't let me. I'm sure it was a difficult situation for them, but not letting me quit was the right answer. The cross-country coach was Gary White. He also encouraged me to stay with the team, and he made me feel part of the team. I finished last or near last in every single race I ran as a freshman. So I can assure you that Coach White's encouragement was for a teenager trying to find his way, and not for a coach trying to keep a key runner in place. That lesson of perseverance and not quitting has stuck with me ever since and shaped me as an individual. I had great people as teammates. I do not remember all the games we played, but I do remember each and every teammate and the camaraderie we shared. And I'm honored to see many of them here tonight. I was fortunate to grow up and play with a group of individuals who were good athletes and who were unusually good people. I want to point out that one of those teammates was Andy Moore, and people familiar with Section 5 basketball know what a great talent he was. How fortunate for me and my other teammates that Andy, a future New York State Player of the Year, moved to Cuba the summer before my senior year in high school. And finally, it is impossible for me to reflect upon high school basketball without remembering how well the people of Cuba supported our team. While my teammates and I were on the floor playing the game, the townspeople were in the bleachers willing us on to victory. The excitement generated by the community for our team helped us achieve more than we ever considered possible. Even today, when I visit friends and family in Cuba and talk turns to basketball, I feel the pride that people take in having been a part of the community during that special time. Community, teammates, coaches, and family, giants all on whose shoulders I stand tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Could we have Amy Fowler Schultz come up, please? She led her SOTUS team to back-to-back Class B title games in 1979 and 80, named the All-Tournament team her junior year. Go right ahead and clap, that's fine. A 4-year starter and a captain for the final 2. She and her teammate and new Hall of Famer, Deb Hopkins, became known as a great scoring duo. All-county pick for 4 years at SOTUS. Great ball handling skills, could shoot outside while still blocking shots at the basket. In college, she led MCC to the Region 3 championship, averaged 20 points and 12 rebounds a game. She and her husband, Mark, live in Auburn, New York. She is the newest Hall of Famer, Amy Fowler Schultz.
All right, I'm a little nervous, so just kind of bear with me. First of all, I'd like to thank Wendy's for putting this all on for us all. I'd also like to thank the Section 5 committee just for allowing me to become a part of this. And I'd like to thank Glenn Harkins and also apologize that I was so hard to find. Al Best, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today. He nominated myself and my teammate Deborah, which you'll see in a minute. He coached us in the Empire State Games. We won a gold medal in '79. High school coaches were Sandra Hall the first couple of years, and then Al Granger, which we went to the sectionals the last 2 years of our career. Neither of them are here tonight, and I feel bad for that. We do have some former teachers and coaches from SOTUS, which not too many people hear of SOTUS, up here or care too much about us or whatever, but we are there, and we were strong and still will be. I'd like to thank them for coming. Most of all, I'd like to thank family members, because if it weren't for family members taking, like parents today, you take your kids to practice, you pick them up. If they weren't there for me or my best friend Deborah, when it came time, we had mothers, fathers, sisters, you name it. If they weren't there to take us and pick us up from practices or pick us up from a late game, we wouldn't be able to enjoy the sports and be something this honorable today. Next thing is I'm 6'1". I played the inside role, the center, mainly for high school. I was the tallest in Section 5, our area, Wayne County. If it wasn't for a great point guard, Deborah Hopkins, feeding me the ball, or, I don't know, she just complimented my inside game. And she was always there for a quick outlet pass to get the score for any kind of win. But it's teamwork. It's exactly that, teamwork. If you don't have that, you're not going to make any kind of a champion out of life. For all you parents out there, being a female, if you have little girls and they'd rather climb trees, beat up boys, you name it, let them do it. Let them do it. Don't say no, play with dolls, don't make them. If they want to, fine. Let them be tough, because I'm telling you, it makes somebody. I am totally honored. This is great, and I'm nervous. I'm going to get off now. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Now let's bring up Deb Hopkins. Another four-year starter at SOTUS, captain her junior and senior years, helped lead the team to 2 title games, named all-tournament both years, all-Wayne County All-Star 4 years, team MVP for each of her 3 years, final 3 years at the school, a passer who could penetrate and shoot, and get the ball to the other players, as we heard, a 3-sports star, excelled at softball and soccer too, went on to star at MCC and helped lead the Tribunes to the 81 Regional Championship. She is in the MCC Sports Hall of Fame, and she is now in the Section 5 Hall of Fame, Deb Hopkins.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Section 5 for having me into this Hall of Fame. It was quite surprising to me when I got the call from Al Best. It's a great honor. I didn't realize how big honor it was until everybody kept talking about it but me. So, and I really appreciate it. I'd like to thank my family and my friends, especially my family, because I've had some tough times during my career. And after I left MCC, and I'd like to really thank them for sticking by me through all the tough times that I had, because without them and the support that I have right now, I would have never got through the things that I've been through. I really wanted to thank my coaches. I've had teachers from my high school that everybody's always believed in me but me, and it's just a tremendous honor to see how many people that really do care and support you in times when you're really not doing well. And through the grace of God, most of all, I'd like to thank God, because without God, my journey would not have ended up the way it did. And my family especially, I got to give it to them, because they really stuck there by me. And they just, through thick and thin, they did not give up. They showed me tough love, and tough love brought me through the grace of God. And with that, I end. Thank you.
All right. Excellent. Thank you. Our next inductee is Mark Jones. He led East High to back-to-back Section 5 AAA championships in 78 and 79, all Greater Rochester pick both years. In 96, he was selected to the Diamond Anniversary Best 50 of All-Time team. Highly recruited, he chose St. Bonaventure, where he was team captain as a sophomore, earned academic honors as well. named first team All-Atlantic 10 in 1982. He's currently the 8th leading scorer all-time at St. Bonaventure, was drafted by the Knicks in the 4th round, later obtained by the Nets. He's now a sales rep for Unisys. He and his wife, Mary, live here in Rochester with their son and their daughter, the newest Hall of Famer, Mark Jones.
Jeff Van Gundy, he made a comment during his speech indicating how the wins, yeah, but we usually think about the losses. Those are the ones that stick with us most, and I have something in common with Jeff besides, having the pleasure of spending a little time in New York. The loss that sticks with me is the loss to Newark, my last high school game. Unfortunately, a 50-foot shot that John Miranda banked in. Go figure. But yes, they do stick. And Al Messino, I too grew up learning how to play basketball at Lewis Street Center, so I understand exactly where you're coming from. Let me start by congratulating all of my fellow inductees. Congratulations to each and every one of you. I myself, I am very proud to be a part of this class. I'd like to thank the Section 5 committee for this great honor tonight. This is truly a special moment for me, one that I would cherish. I'd like to thank all of you for being a part of this. With special thanks to my friends and family, folks from East High who so graciously chose to attend, especially you, Cheryl, thank you. And my family and friends over in table 14 and 15. As you know, it would take much longer than 4 or 5 minutes to try to explain what this means to me tonight and to talk about all the people that contributed to this. So, for the sake of time, I just basically want to focus on one word that I think can begin to at least describe how I feel tonight, and that word is grateful. I'm very grateful for having the opportunity, first of all, to compete in Section 5 basketball at East. I am especially grateful for my coaches and my teammates. I share this award with each and every one of them. I am standing here today because of their dedication, their sweat, and their support. It was truly a team effort. So I thank them. I am grateful for the memories that I have of playing basketball at East. I was fortunate to be a part of some great teams, teams that won back-to-back Section 5 championships. Those memories, trust me, are very special. However, some of my fondest memories are those, spent in the locker room after practice, just talking and joking with our teammates. It's funny because on many occasions, Coach Rizzo literally had to come in and kick us out of the locker room so he can get home and see his family.